NASA's Artemis II crew has safely returned to Earth after a historic 10-day mission, 694,000 plus miles around the moon. The Orion spacecraft Integrity splashed down in the Pacific Ocean on April 10, 2026. This video covers the full dramatic splashdown, the U.S. Navy recovery operation, and the exhilarating moment crew members Reid Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Koch, and Jeremy Hansen were airlifted by helicopter from their capsule to the USS John P. Murtha. Artemis II is the first crewed lunar flyby in over 50 years, paving the way for the future of Mars exploration. The Artemis II mission successfully concluded on April 10, 2026, with a splashdown in the Pacific Ocean at 8:07 p.m. EDT. This historic 10-day journey took the four-person crew, Commander Reid Wiseman, pilot Victor Glover, mission specialist Christina Koch, and mission specialist Jeremy Hansen further from Earth than any humans in history, surpassing the previous record set by Apollo 13. Splashdown and recovery highlights precision landing. The Orion spacecraft, named Integrity, splashed down off the coast of San Diego, California. It entered the atmosphere at Mach 33, roughly 24,661 meteor, before parachutes slowed it to about 19 meteor for landing. The front porch. Approximately 90 minutes after splashdown, the crew exited through the side hatch onto an inflatable raft known as the front porch to regain their sea legs. Airlift operation. Navy helicopter team swiftly extracted the astronauts from the raft and flew them to the USS John P. Murtha, an amphibious transport dock ship. Medical evaluation. Once aboard the USS John P. Murtha, the crew underwent initial medical checks. They were reported to be in great shape and high spirits. Capsule recovery. Following the crew's extraction, naval teams worked for several hours to hoist the Integrity capsule into the ship's well deck for transport back to Naval Base San Diego. Mission milestones distance record. On April 6th, the crew reached a maximum distance of 252,156 miles from Earth during their lunar flyby. Lunar observations. During their 7-hour lunar flyby, the astronauts became the first humans in over 50 years to see the moon's far side in person, passing within roughly 4,000 miles of the surface. Next steps. On April 11, the crew was slated to fly from San Diego to NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston for further debriefing. Following the successful splashdown on April 10, 2026, NASA has begun processing over 175 GB of data and planning for the next phase of deep space exploration. Scientific data and discoveries. The Artemis II crew conducted several pioneering experiments during their 10-day mission, meteoroid impact flashes. While behind the moon, the crew reported seeing 6 distinct flashes of light. Scientists are analyzing imagery to confirm if these were small meteoroids hitting the lunar surface. Solar corona analysis. During a rare lunar eclipse of the sun seen from Orion, the crew analyzed the sun's outermost atmosphere, corona. They captured high-resolution photos of the glowing halo around the dark moon. Human observations. The astronauts provided real-time descriptions of lunar topography and color changes, such as greenish and brownish hues, that the human eye can distinguish more accurately than current cameras. New crater names. The crew proposed naming 2 previously unnamed lunar craters, Integrity, after their spacecraft, and Carol, in honor of Commander Reid Wiseman's late wife. Laser communications. The mission successfully tested the Orion Artemis II optical communication system, downlinking over 50 GB of high-definition video in a single day using laser technology. Next steps. Artemis III and IV NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman recently announced a significant restructuring of the program to maintain a faster mission cadence. Mission expected date, primary objective, key details. Artemis III, mid-2027. Earth orbit test will not land on the moon. Instead, it will test rendezvous and docking with SpaceX's Starship and/or Blue Origin's Blue Moon landers in Earth orbit. Artemis IV early 2028. Lunar landing planned to be the first mission to return humans to the lunar surface since 1972, targeting the lunar South Pole. Artemis V, late 2028, lunar landing second crewed landing, intended to begin construction of the Artemis base camp. Immediate post-mission timeline. April 11, 2026. The crew is scheduled to fly from San Diego to Johnson Space Center in Houston for a full debrief and extensive medical evaluations. Mid-2026, the SLS core stage for Artemis III is expected to arrive at Kennedy Space Center to begin assembly. The competition to return humans to the moon has evolved into a lunar duel between two vastly different architectures. While SpaceX was the initial sole provider, NASA selected Blue Origin as a second provider in 2023 to ensure mission robustness and competition. Under the revised Artemis III plan announced in early 2026, both landers are now expected to be tested in Earth orbit in mid-2027 before a crewed landing occurs on a later mission. Comparison: Starship HLS versus Blue Moon Mark II. Features SpaceX, Starship HLS, Blue Origin, Blue Moon Mk2, height, price 50 meters, 164 feet, worth 16, 18 meters, 52, 59 feet. Propulsion Raptor, liquid oxygen, methane, BE-7, liquid oxygen, hydrogen, crew capacity, designed for large-scale cargo crew, up to 4 astronaut surface stay, aimed at long-term lunar outposts, up to 30 days launch vehicle Starship, super heavy, New Glenn, refueling requires 10+. Tanker flights and LEO uses a cislunar transporter tug, key design philosophies, SpaceX Starship, the giant. Starship HLS is essentially the entire upper stage of the Starship rocket modified for the moon. Because its crew compartment is 35 meters high, astronauts must use an elevator to reach the lunar surface. It is designed for massive payloads, positioning it as the primary tool for building a permanent lunar base. Blue Origin Blue Moon, the sustainer. Blue Moon is a more compact, specialized lander. It focuses on high-efficiency liquid hydrogen fuel, which is harder to store long-term but more efficient for deep space maneuvers. It relies on a tug and tanker system to transport fuel from Earth orbit to lunar orbit for multiple uses. Current status and challenges: delays. Both providers are behind their original schedules. As of April 2026, SpaceX's HLS version is estimated to be roughly 2 years late, while Blue Origin is approximately 8 months behind its internal milestones. Risks. NASA's Office of the Inspector General recently highlighted risks for both. Starship's elevator is a single point of failure for surface access, and Blue Origin still needs to finalize mass reduction and propellant management technologies. The Axiom Extravehicular Mobility Unit, AXIMU, represents the first major redesign of lunar spacesuits in over 50 years. Developed by Axiom Space in partnership with the luxury brand Prada, these suits are built specifically for the extreme conditions of the moon's south pole. Major upgrades over Apollo suits: flexibility and mobility. Unlike the bunny hop movement required by Apollo-era suits, the AXIMU features a combination of soft and hard joints that allow astronauts to walk with a more natural gait, kneel, and squat to collect samples. Thermal resilience. The suit is engineered to withstand the extreme cold of permanently shadowed lunar regions, where water ice exists, for at least 2 hours. Extended mission life. The life support backpack supports 8-hour moonwalks, featuring advanced cooling, a carbon dioxide scrubber, and improved air circulation. Inclusive design. Unlike custom-tailored Apollo suits, the AXIMU has a highly adjustable design intended to fit 99% of the population, from the smallest female to the largest male astronauts. High-tech features: 4G LTE communications. The suit integrates a high-speed communication system for relaying HD video and biometric data back to Earth in real time. Onboard diagnostics. A built-in health monitoring system tracks the suit's integrity and the astronaut's vitals, alerting the wearer to any potential failures. HD helmet cameras. Redesigned helmets
secure, we're
include
ready for extraction.
high-definition cameras
Roger,
and
pulling them
improved
up now.
visor coatings to enhance vision in the harsh, low-angle light of the lunar
Hatch is secure,
South
we're
Pole.
ready for extraction.
White outer layer.
Roger, pulling them
While
up now.
early prototypes were shown in a dark gray cover, the final flight
Hatch is
suits
secure,
will
we're
be
ready for
all
extraction.
white to reflect
Roger,
solar
pulling 'em up
heat
now.
and make lunar dust more visible for easier removal.
Hatch is secure,
Recent
we're ready
testing
for extraction.
milestones.
Roger,
In
pulling
February
them up now.
2026, the Axiom passed a critical contractor-led
Hatch
technical
is secure,
review.
we're ready for extraction.
Thermal vacuum
Roger,
tests
pulling 'em up
completed
now.
in late 2025. These trials confirmed the suit can maintain.
Hatch is
internal
secure,
pressure
we're ready for
and
extraction.
total vacuum.
Roger, pulling them up now.
Water simulation.
Hatch is secure, we're ready for extraction. Roger, pulling them up now. Hatch is secure, we're ready for extraction. Roger, pulling them up now. Hatch is secure, we're ready for extraction. Roger, pulling them up now. Hatch is secure, we're ready for extraction. Roger, pulling them up now. Hatch is secure, we're ready for extraction. Roger, pulling them up now. Hatch is secure,